welcome or welcome back to the Golden Aura Wellness Space podcast. My name is Faye, and my mission is to help you reconnect with your mind, body, and energy. And I am so grateful that you're here today. So, in the last episode, we talked about the stories that we tell ourselves. And today, I want to talk about that conversation just a little bit further. Now, once we become aware of our stories, the next question is, how do we change them? So many of us know our limiting beliefs, right? We know we doubt ourselves. We know we hold ourselves back if we're scared. But knowing isn't always enough. Real transformation comes from practicing something different every single day, from growing a little bit more every single day. And so many people really, really just like to be in their comfort zone. It is uncomfortable to be uncomfortable, and people don't want to be uncomfortable, but no one changes in their comfort zone. So, your limiting belief is simply a thought you've repeated so many times, your brain now sees it as a fact. And maybe that looks like, I'm not good enough. I'm too old to start over. I'm not smart enough. I always mess things up. No one understands me. No one likes me. I'll never be successful. So these aren't facts. These are beliefs. And beliefs can change. So your brain loves familiarity. So, if you've never thought about this, your brain is designed to keep you safe, not necessarily happy. So, if you spent years believing you're not enough, your brain will keep looking for evidence that confirms that. That's why change can feel so uncomfortable. Changing what you have known to become fact, sometimes when you realize it and that light bulb turns on, and you feel as if your brain has been working against you for years. Like you've lost years of your life to this belief that was not even true. And that can be a lot to digest, but what you need to do is feel it through it and move on and move up and change your thoughts. Uncomfortable? Yes. Growth often feels unfamiliar before it feels natural. So pay attention to how you speak to yourself. If your best friend came to you feeling discouraged, would you tell them they're a failure? If they did something wrong at work, is your first inkling to say, yeah, Jenny, you're a total failure? Probably not. But we speak to ourselves in ways we never speak to someone else. Imagine if, and this is a big one, this is like, honestly, it's like turning on a light in a dark room. Imagine if your brain had a loudspeaker and you're at work, and every time you do something wrong and you say something to yourself, it goes out on that loudspeaker for all to hear. And if that just made you cringe, you're talking to yourself that way. And so awareness is the first step to change. So the next time something happens, I want you to imagine replacing criticism with curiosity. So instead of what's wrong with me, ask, what am I trying to learn? That one shift changes everything. So your energy follows your thoughts. Every thought carries an emotional response. When you're constantly criticizing yourself, your body responds. Your shoulders tighten. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your confidence shrinks. But when you practice compassion, your nervous system starts to feel safer. Your body softens. your energy changes. That aura, your relationships begin changing too. And the one thing that is so big and it's such like a crazy shift and change is you'll notice how you allow people to treat you when maybe your self-confidence is diminished. And then the difference in how you allow people to treat you once you realize that you are enough and you become your own best friend. Because when you're your own best friend, you're not allowing people to treat you disrespectfully, right? Imagine you show up to dinner and one friend is treating your best friend some type of way and they're not sticking up for themselves. You're going to be like, excuse me, yeah, don't talk to her like that. That is not nice. That is unnecessary. That is not needed. If you keep doing that, you're going to have to leave. And we won't invite you back next time. We don't need to be talked to by you like that. Absolutely not. Unacceptable. So, that is something to absolutely look for as you go on this journey, if you choose to do so. So, a simple daily exercise you can do is every time you notice a limiting or negative belief, write it down or make a mental note or make a note in your phone. Then I want you to ask yourself, is this absolutely true? Where did I learn this? Is this belief helping me become the person I want to be? What would I rather believe instead? And don't worry about believing the new thought immediately. So, this is a take on last episode, a little bit different. So, again, don't worry about believing the new thought immediately. Just create that space for it so it can grow. And imagine the version of yourself 1 year from now. How crazy is that? Imagine the you that is your best friend 1 year from now. How do you speak? How do you walk? How do you respond to changes? How do you take care of yourself? If I were you, if you're going to do this, I would snap a picture today and then snap a picture a year from now and see if you can see physical changes in the way you look, in the way you carry yourself. And now ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today that my future self would thank me for? Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens through hundreds, thousands of tiny choices all throughout your day, all throughout your life. So you don't have to become someone new, right? We don't want to change who you are. We love who you are. You're perfect the way you are. We simply want to remove the beliefs that convinced you weren't already enough. There's wisdom within you. There's strength within you. You've always, always, always been enough. And there's a version of your life waiting on the other side of these outgrown beliefs. So, thank you so much for spending this time with me. As always, I know time is so, so precious, and I really, truly appreciate you taking this little bit of time out of your day to spend it with me. If this episode resonates with you, please subscribe, share with someone that could use this message. And until next time, remember, breathe deeply, feel your feelings, and please be your own best friend.